God bless you. God bless every one of you. Every one of
Hey.
you.
Hey.
This is the day
Woo!
that the Lord has made.
Woo!
I am rejoicing. You know how I'm feeling.
Yep.
I am extreme.
Extremely.
Wait a minute. You were drinking water the whole lunch, and you asked for a Coke to go.
That's what happened.
Is that what happened?
The Coke got in me.
That sugar part just
It
kicked
did.
in.
It did.
Okay, well, we don't want to do that no more.
One more time?
No. We're not going to do that. You resurrected Don Cornelius from the grave, and then closed with Caesar Clark by the hoop and the preach at the end.
Yeah, just a little something.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure.
You
J-Lo,
like
you J-Lo.
I don't want to do it.
Hey, listen, y'all. Listen. You know what this is. You know who I is. I am Brother J.E. Sturdy, my pastor of Faith United Ministry, 7905 Fernham Lane in District Heights, Maryland.
Yes,
This
sir.
is Back to Basics, Eyes of Faith radio broadcast, emanating from the very fine studios of Faith United Ministries. And we are now being heard all over the world by virtue of, Taisha and Mr. Mike. They holding us
it
down.
Church talk.
Church talk, what you say? Church talk is holding us down. They got it going on for us. We're so appreciated. You know that you've been doing something either really, really good or really, really bad when they switch your program director on you.
If not a notice either.
No notice. No
we
notice.
ain't getting no type of warning.
No notice. We're just going on like, hey, how you doing? Hi. So we don't recognize that voice. Oh, I'm Taisha. I'm the new girl. And listen, just in case.
Right.
I'm not here.
Yeah. Here's Mr. Mike.
Mr. Mike is gonna be holding the, hey, how you doing? Listen, listen, I'm loving that we have it. Listen, Facebook, YouTube, we have got the greatest team making it happen for us up there in the New York area. And of course, we've got to thank Bishop Luder for making it possible for us to come on this very fine station. And do you know why they are even hearing us? Because everybody could be doing it. Bishop Luder could have the station. Taisha could be there ready to push the buttons. Mike could be in there to figure out how we're going to get this done. And everybody in the Church Talk Radio family could be waiting for us. But if it was not for Miss Regina Robinson Davis,
Hey.
we would not. Why did you do a rerun?
Yeah, what's happening?
That was like rerun from What's Happening.
Hey, that's Dynamite now.
No, that was you giving That's JJ from. No, you just getting all your characters.
It's Black History Month.
Yeah, but you weren't born when any of those shows were on. And that's the thing is that you're doing all these people like you were there.
I felt like I was.
No, but you weren't. You was watching Antenna TV.
We were.
And that's
We were.
That's
I
how
had to
you
get
know.
up to adjust the antenna.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we are very, very glad.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you,
Regina.
my daughter Regina, for making it possible. Yes, this is the second dose of the double dose.
Man,
and we're happy for everybody that's coming on and making their presence known to us. Thank you so much, Nishka Higginbottom. We appreciate you so very, very much.
Nice.
And listen, I'm just glad to be here, but before I get too far into this, you know who this is with me. It's one of, and she'll explain what's going on. It is one half of my co-host, my cohorts. She's got one name, one word, one mic. You know who she is. Josie. You know what? That coat and that hat are too much. You just said two. Can I tell you all that while we were out to lunch, we were at lunch, and every person that came in started calling Janice, J-Lo. Hey,
I missed
J-Lo.
it. I didn't even know what they were talking about. I didn't see it.
I didn't know. My sister Barbara Spriggs down there in King George County. Did you by any chance watch the Grammy Awards? Was that what it was?
That's what it was. It was the Grammys on Sunday, apparently.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out, Yeah, I know you can only check in and stay for a second, but did J-Lo wear a hat or
Apparently,
something?
she had this huge hat on. I missed it. I had to go back and YouTube it because I need to know what they're talking about.
Yeah, you know, because
'Cause
this is just your season when you're doing hats
You
and
know, it's
everything.
easy. It's cold outside too.
Yeah, and
It's
hats
cold. It
will,
works.
I'm telling you, all your steam flies right out the top of your head.
My,
but you're
my
like, you
name
know,
does begin with the letter J.
right, so don't worry about the rocks that she's got. You know she's still Jenny's on the block.
Yep.
She used to have a
Jenny's.
little, now she's got a lot.
No matter where I'm going, you know where I came from.
You know where she came
You
from.
know where I came
Southeast
Hey.
DC. Southeast DC.
Why are yours is like?
You know, because it's like, you know, Howard University, the real H.
You
You
know.
know. You know. So, I got that.
Your coke is creeping up on you too. Your soda's creeping
Yeah,
up on you.
I that, you know, you had to get that, you know, that soda in you to kind of help you get over.
Well, the reason why this is the second dose, y'all, because we know around this time of the day,
Yeah.
your energy gets a little
Wait a
low.
minute, Nunu, is the hat doing it? I need to know because we didn't see it. Nunu,
Yeah,
you
I didn't
said
see it.
you love the hat. Was the hat really? Was J-Lo working the hat? Okay, I see a heart.
Now I feel like I gotta get one of J-Lo's hats. Now I gotta order one of hers.
No, I just want you to get J-Lo's money.
Yeah, I do.
Let's get J-Lo's
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should also do the tribute.
I
that
don't
they
think you
asked.
should. No, that's not. Well, you could do it because you are African American.
Yes.
We're not gonna go there.
Yeah. I said we should stop it right
Let's
here.
stop right here before we go, and J-Lo come for us.
Look out. This
We
is
just stop
We
right
stop it right
there.
here because we ain't trying to get in trouble. We're back to basics.
No, Myra said that she did rock the hat, so
She did okay.
Oh, so we now
So
we
this
now
is
know what's going on. Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right.
All right. Second dose. We know that you all need a picker upper.
Yes.
You know, throughout your day. And so we're here to give y'all that. But then you know, we gotta shout out the Church Talk Radio family.
Yes.
We really are family. We've been doing this for a while, and every week they come out and they make sure we sound good over the airways. So thank you all. But look, let's say this. Let's say happy pre-Valentine's Day. Oh no, you do that again?
It's just the echo of
Yeah.
your voice.
Happy pre-Valentine's Day. We know this. This is a season.
Yes.
Let me tell you all. Let me tell y'all this testimony. It ain't even my testimony because I ain't do it. We was out for lunch. Apparently we had a good time at lunch.
Yes, we did.
It was such a blessing, and I'm gonna be serious for like 3 seconds. It was a blessing because we were out to lunch and we were leaving, and we saw some seniors who were out celebrating. They were celebrating, and they were well in their 80s.
Very well. Not a single one of
yeah.
them was younger
They were
than
well
80
in
years
their
old.
80s. I mean, you had 4 young ladies and a gentleman, and they were out just celebrating. They were doing things as it relates to scholarships, and you know they
Trying
had
to raise money for
raise
their-
money, and they had a purpose, and they were enjoying themselves. I mean, they were.
Yeah, they were
You
enjoying
were.
themselves.
I mean, you heard laughing in the background, and you know they were enjoying themselves. And I'm saying this for a purpose. So as we were leaving, you know, because you know my father, he loves to love, and he loves people, and he enjoys helping people, and you know sometimes I have to reel it in because he can talk to
Yeah, I
people,
will get
you know,
real
for
then.
hours. I'm like, all right, Dad, let's go.
I need to get real
And
then.
he's like, well, I want to be a blessing, and he ended up blessing the seniors and paying for their bill.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that even though that was, a good thing, and, I love the fact as far as nobody making you have to do anything, but
Right.
if the love is there and you want to do,
Ooh, that's
you don't
good.
have to wait for somebody to
That's
tell
good,
you to do.
that's good.
You just do because that's what you want. It was such a good thing, and this is not the first time I've seen it, but to see the gratitude that was on their face. I mean, you saw them fishing in their purse for coupons, trying to find ways as far as how they're gonna pay their bills, and they ended up being blessed so much they said, now we have to do it. We have to pay it forward.
Yes.
We've got to be kind.
Yes.
I share that testimony, even though it's not mine, because I didn't pull out not one dime.
Go and tell
But
it.
I share that testimony.
Tell it like it's yours.
I'm
Tell
telling
it like it's
You know,
yours.
people take a credit. It's like, you didn't pay for nothing. But I share it because even in this season, this holiday season, We're celebrating Valentine's Day tomorrow, and I was just talking to a young lady at the station earlier, and she's like, I don't got no Valentine's, I don't feel love, and you get those type of things during this holiday season, with the suicide hotline. This season is not as pleasant for some as it is for others.
Right.
But I do want to encourage us to spread love.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be anything as far as what you give to somebody, but even if you just, show some act of kindness, if you take the time to, ask somebody how they're doing, if you actually show care, you never know how far that would go. Those seniors, they wanted to talk for a whole nother hour as a result of being blessed. And we didn't know that was going to come from it, but it never hurts. It doesn't take away anything from you to be kind. And I know we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit in broadcast, but I just wanted to share that because this is not always a pleasant season for everybody.
But Janice, we had shared something a while back, and I'm not, this isn't the lesson, but it goes in line with what you were saying in that Luke chapter number 10, verse 27, Luke 10, verse 27. Read that for someone, please.
So he answered and said, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart.
There's that love. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. Let's start there. Love the Lord with all your heart. You may not have a Valentine. You may not have an individual. You may not have no bae, no bun, no boo. You may not have no boo thing. You may not have nobody that's cuddling with you. Nobody that you all are cupping together. You haven't cuffed anybody. Nobody's cuffed
no
you.
Side chick.
Oh, no side chick. No side piece. All whatever the terms are. You may not have any of that, but can you let this Valentine's Day be the one where you first of all love God with all your heart? Because we always tell everybody else, I love you with all my heart. And then that person winds up hurting you. Have you ever told God, I love you with all my heart?
Yeah.
And then what else does it say?
Love the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul.
With all your soul. That's your mind, your will, your emotions, your desire, your intellect. All of the inner part of you. We are so busy loving people with our body until we're not even getting into the soul realm. But I think about you. I'm thinking of better ways to be a better person for you. You have to love your heart, your mind, your soul, your strength. And that starts with how you do towards God. Go ahead.
With all your strength.
With all your strength. Put some effort into it. What's the new term you all use now? Bring that same energy?
Bring that same energy.
Yeah, with all your strength. Go ahead.
With all your mind.
With all your mind. All I do is think of you. Day and night, that's all I do. All your mind. Go ahead.
And your neighbor as yourself.
There it is. And your neighbor. So you love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And your neighbor on what condition? As yourself. So you love God first, then love you. And that's what I want to really kind of touch for just that second is before you complain about having no one to love you, I want to ask you, have you been loving you? How you doing? Wendy Williams, feel better. We wanted to kind of just, no, we love everybody. And so you have to love you before you start saying somebody else, no one loves me. Are you lovable? If you don't like to be in the house by yourself, why would somebody else want to be in the house with you? If you can't stand you, when was the last time you took yourself out? Did something for yourself? Maybe you had a Valentine last year and you don't have one this year. Instead of feeling bad about it, ask, what did I learn from that last relationship that I don't want to carry into the next one? Or how did that last relationship change me so that when I go into the next one, I don't take the baggage of this one? The same cycle. So I'm challenging you for just a second to go ahead and just let this be a year that you love you. Buy yourself some chocolates. Not if you're diabetic. But buy yourself some chocolates. Treat yourself to something, because I don't want you to love yourself to death.
Hurt yourself,
So do some nice things for yourself. I see my daughter Gwen on. That you have to do some things for you instead of making demands for other people to do various things.
Because what is attractive, what makes a person attracted to you is how they see you treat yourself.
That's right.
It's oh, I see you carry yourself a certain way.
Exactly.
I see that, you know how to take care of yourself. You know how to keep yourself manicured, keep yourself.
That's right.
So when you start treating yourself, that makes a person look and say, she doesn't really need me.
Exactly.
She doesn't need me. He doesn't need me for what I can do for them.
So they'll want me for who I am.
Exactly.
You know, a dear pastor, one of the fathers in the faith in this area, John D. Bussey, he made a statement to me years ago. He said he knew I was trying to get the ministry started. I was just starting the ministry. And he said this. He said, Sturdivant, I see you, Pastor Peyton Gray. Good to see you. He said, Sturdivant, he says, nobody's going to help you because you need help.
Yeah.
He says they're going to help you when they see you helping yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, instead of going around saying, oh, I wish somebody would give me the money for this, give me the... No. Show that you're putting in that effort, you're putting in that work, you're grinding. You know, just from a male perspective, no man wants to get with a female who's looking for somebody to pay their bills for them.
They're for use.
It's like, no, you can't use me like that. Sorry. Call it whatever you want, but no. You know, so when you have the ability to love yourself, care for yourself, Urfa says that was well said. You know, you got to do some things to love yourself, care for yourself, take care of yourself, and then you will then have other people that you will give that same energy to. You'll give that across so that you don't wind up saying, I did this and I did that, and you got me confused with somebody else. I just met you. You know, and we just introduced. You know, this is our first time out, and you're telling me all of the demands. You're bringing the baggage from a previous relationship, and then trying to figure out why the relationships are not working. It's because you have made demands on someone because of something that you have not even done for yourself.
I'm about to go flip the script, Pastor, because you was
flip it,
and you be doing this to Stephen now on the spot. Somebody better put you on the spot.
Come on.
I'm about to ask you a couple of questions.
Ask the questions.
No, I'm about to ask questions from a female perspective.
Yes.
You're a man. You've been a man all your life.
Yes, 62 years this year.
Okay, so you have some wisdom under your belt.
Got a little bit.
You have been in a relationship for how long?
I have been with your mother, married for 40 years, but been together for 46.
Okay, so you have some experience.
Just a little bit.
All right, so I'm just going to ask you just a couple of questions. You know, ladies, if you're feeling me on this, please, you know, respond. And men as well. Give your feedback, but you know, since this is the time, you know, some of us may have had some questions, but we may not have had a male model or anybody to answer these. So, from a man, how can you tell if the love that they say is there is real?
Okay, all right. Of course, everybody says, I love you.
It's been used very loosely
The
these
word
days.
love is just, and you know, I said on one of our broadcasts that I don't even use the word love as much because it makes reference to pain that people have had. I like to use I care deeply. And the reason why I'll use that is because I've now taken the sting off of how people say, oh yeah, I know you love me, you're supposed to love me. But what a person does, not for you per se, but what a person does in how they care about themselves. For example, if there are certain things that I know that you don't like about me, how I carry myself or whatever, then I should not try to make you accept the me that I refuse to change. I've got to love you so much until I am willing to make changes. And that's how it goes both ways. That both the men, if this is something that you like, well, it's not necessarily me, but because I care about you, I'm going to work in that area. But then I don't like this. Okay, well, because I care about you, I'm going to do that. Love is not supposed to be a thing where one person makes demands, the other person acquiesces or says, okay, well, I'll do that. It's a give and take. You know, it's a give and take. I've been watching over the past few nights, you know, there's a specialist on, I think it's Showtime, where they're doing the life of Teddy Pendergrass. And we know that Teddy Pendergrass died a few years ago. He would be 69 if he was still alive right now. And very tragically car accident. And he was singing all of the love songs. Turn off the lights. You know, a lot of children were made during that time. You know, so but he had a song that says, it's so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back. I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
But then he started saying love is not 70-30. It's not 60-40. It's 50-50. Love is not 50-50. Love is 100% and 100% coming together. So to get to what you were saying about how do you know if it's genuine or if it's real, it's when each person is willing to give everything that they have for the sake of the other individual.
Right. That's a selfless thing. Because I know even just watching you and Mom over the years, you guys have you all's date day that you all do every week, every Friday. And y'all, for example, do something like the movies. Now, both of you all have different likings as it relates to different movies.
Tastes, I'm telling you. Oh,
but
Lord.
you would go and see a romantic movie, chick movie.
Flick.
Yeah, you would do that. And then there are times when she would go and see some type of sports or
She's got to go
action,
see the action movie.
action movie. And even though that may not be the choice of preference,
Right.
but because this is somebody that you're with,
Absolutely.
you're willing to make those type of changes.
Absolutely.
It's a selfless act.
It's got to be. It's selfless. Because we're Christians, you know, people sometimes wonder, how can you all be saved?
Right.
But because we're saved, we are following a pattern of Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, God so loved. That's a love that is beyond, you know, description. John 3:16. God so loved, meaning that there was no level, no measurement. He so loved the world that he gave his best, his only begotten. That means he gave the essence of himself. Real love means you will give the very best that you've got. Your mother and I, you all did this for us for Christmas. Sent us to go and see we both enjoy this artist, Anita Baker. And you know, everybody is just kind of like, we love everything she's singing, you know, Fairy Tales is the last song she did, and we loving everything she is doing. But ain't nobody happy if you don't sing, I'm giving you the best that I've got. You know, and that's the kind of part of it, is that you may not be perfect. One time your mother said he's not perfect, but he's perfect for me. You know, because sometimes people want you, I see you, Ty, sometimes people want you to measure who is best for you based on what they would say. Janice, girl, I wouldn't be putting up when I wouldn't be. It's like, well, wait, boo-boo, you have no one.
Right.
And you're on your fourth marriage and have no one there. And you're telling me, you know, so there are certain things that you have to make. Love is a compromise when it comes to dealing with people. It's give and take, and that doesn't mean one person does all the giving and the other person does all the taking. You know, so that was one of your questions. Okay.
So here's another one, because they don't know that you actually went to school as it relates to getting your studies.
Which degrees?
I mean, so you had some experience with psychology.
Psychology and religion, yes.
Okay, so when we just read the scripture, love the Lord your God, and we have to love the neighbor as ourselves.
Yep.
What would you say if someone asked you, how do I love me? I have all of this baggage. I was brought up this way. I'm still being abused mentally, verbally. I don't know how to love me to be able to love my neighbor as myself.
Right.
What would you say?
Well, you know, if you're in an abusive situation, number one, you know, my perspective is that I think that no one should be in a physically abusive situation. Period. Remove yourself from that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we supposed to listen. I didn't say divorce, but there's got to be some separation so somebody can get some medication before you come back to that situation. What?
Did you just go with that?
I promise you, I just now did that.
That's what you call wisdom,
See,
right?
people don't understand. People don't understand. No, so there's got to be that period. But I think that one of the worst things that happens with people is that they get someone else involved in their world before they've gotten settled with where they are and who they are.
Yeah, they lost
And they have lost themselves, lost their voice, you know, and some people just kind of want to get with someone to get out of, as we did many, many years ago, to get out of your parents' house, or you did something because you were on the rebound and got out of a bad relationship and jumped into another one. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen, you know, young ladies that got out of, you know, a girlfriend or relationship with their wifey, and then the same sister jumped into another relationship with a brother, just thinking that, okay, I'm no longer with my wifey, I'm with a brother. And that's not the answer either, you know, because the issue was not the object of your love. The issue was, had you first loved you?
And that's that part. That part. And a lot of people don't know how to, though.
They don't know how to do that. And so I believe that there's got to be some period of being away relationally from someone else, so that you can get back in touch with you.
Yeah.
You don't, you know, you can't just immediately get involved with people and then try to work on your issues. I believe in the book that I hold in my hand. I believe in this Bible. I believe in this. But I also believe that sometimes you have to go and get some professional help to get to the root of certain situations that you cannot get by just being in church and Shanda Rabasiko Robohandia, and I love praise and worship. No, you sometimes have to go and sit yourself down in somebody's chair and let them help you work through what you don't have the ability to get through on your own. That's why you'll see some people and they're working triple time, overtime, all the time, and not having any time with themselves, because the voices that they hear in their own head, or they're making a lot of money and they're using their job, their work, to try to cover up from the fact that they really don't like being, you know, by themselves or dealing with the voices and dealing with their own issues. So I would say that it's important that you kind of be able to pull back from all of the intimate relationships. You know, intimacy, as you've heard me say, is in-to-me-see. So if anybody wants to know how I view intimacy, it's in-to-me-see. And many of us don't have in-to-me-see, because I can't let you look into me when I don't know the me I'm asking you to look into. So I'll only expose to you certain things about what I do, but not who I am.
That's good. Say that one more time.
Yeah.
A lot of times we only allow people. So it's like a salesman.
Yeah.
We allow people to see what we want them to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. I say when people are dating that the first person they send out is their representative.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, that's not. You know. Oh no, I'm not hungry. I'm not. No,
I'll just have a salad.
Just a salad, please. No croutons. I'm watching my weight. You know. And then after you say I do, you've
steak, lobster.
Yeah, all of that kind of stuff. And the concern that you had for your appearance, as you said earlier on, starts leaving because you now have what you were doing everything for. Yeah. Good to see you, Cheryl Henderson. Appreciate you so very, very much. And so most people put on such a facade. Yeah. They start doing everything any way you want it, baby. You can have it, baby. I'm yours, baby. You know, and then after you get the person, you have a migraine for like 27 years. Yeah. You know, so you've got to understand that when you are going into a relationship, it is better that you are honest up front before you get into something and say, well, I can change that later. No, you are going to continue to do what you have done. Who is this saying? Pastor, is it possible to love two people at the same time? Absolutely. I love my wife. I love my daughters. I love my sons. I love the members.
I need some Dallas House and everything. We're making this like a Q&A type of situation because it's Valentine's Day. So
I know what she's saying.
She's trying to know.
Yeah. So you want to know, can I be in love? Can I choose to love two people as if I want both of them to be my wife?
Right, your partner.
I cannot. Not if I'm going to understand that I'm not supposed to have more than one person as my wife. I know that's a Eurocentric concept. I know that if you go into other places and other ways of thinking religiously, you can have as many companions as you want to do. I know that in Utah, where I've got ministries and churches up there, that they've got people that have multiple sister moms and sister wives and everything like that. However, based on who I am, based on what has been moved in this Bible that I hold in my hand. The record is that for this cause, a man leaves his father and his mother, and he cleaves to his wife, not wives, and they become one flesh. So my belief, my standing based on who I am, based on this book.
Absolutely.
You know, and the part is that most Christians, as you've heard me say before, we take this book and we want to pick out the parts that are convenient to us because it fits in the culture or the climate that we are living in. We can't allow our culture and climate to control us. We are controlled by the standards of this book.
That's good. See? And
Good question.
It's a good question. And if you have a question, it's impossible. Okay, I'm just being sarcastic. If you have a question, no, we're doing this only because, again, the reason why I flipped the script, I felt it in my heart, only because in this season, I know females, we are emotional. This is an emotional holiday. We're about to celebrate tomorrow. And instantly we will go based off of how we feel if we don't get something by somebody certain, specific. Or we'll say, I don't feel like being bothered, or I don't feel like I'm being loved, and we have all these things. So I'm wanting to allow this opportunity where you have someone who has the experience, who has the wisdom, who has the knowledge to be able to give the other side of some questions. And if you have a question, feel free to leave a comment.
And that's very, very important, because if it takes someone else on one day out of a year to do something for you to feel validated, that says something about how out of touch with you you actually are. Because as you know, feelings change
all the time.
The calendar will change.
All the time.
Do you know that after you have had the 14th for 24 hours, it'll be the 15th?
Yep.
But you may make a decision
based off of that 24 hours
on the 12th and the 13th, so you can have something on the 14th that you really don't want to have to keep dealing with on the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. But you'll almost feel obligated to stay with a situation that was really a situationship. Thank you, Steph the Best. It was a situationship and not a relationship, because you really had no relating with the individual. You had a calendar where you wanted a dating with an individual. Not relating, but dating. And after the date has passed, then you're trying to figure out what's going on. And you said something very key, and I was talking with a brother today, because, females are by nature. You can try to be, I'm a boss, I'm a BA boss, I'm a queen bee, and all that stuff sounds good. But at the core of every female, you are emotional. And even though you be saying, yeah, girl, I'm using him, he my bee. Well, still, at your core, you are one that feels, that is emotional. And listen, Church Talk, just because someone says, oh, I understand, it's good, we get the same thing out of it, I knew it was just a one night stand, I knew it was a booty call, I knew it was just, I knew it was just a booty call, I had no expectation, I'm good. But then the next week or so, you see that same person with somebody else, you're like, that nigga, I can't believe, or that B, I can't believe, and I know I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone by saying that the way that I said it, But what I am telling you is that that's what you'll be saying. It's just that you're not on the radio show and people are listening to you. It is important that you be honest with yourself. Do you understand that because you, my precious sisters, are estrogen, you are emotional first. Men are analytical. That is why a man can analyze and talk himself out of whatever the situation is, and you're trying to get him to understand how you feel. So you don't understand how I feel. He says, no, you don't understand, because men are analytical and women are emotional. And so the brother will walk away after he has smashed you, and you're thinking, how could he do that? He a dog. He a dog. No, he has analyzed it. He knows he has no emotions invested in it. What he had was a drive that he needed to release physical. He could have got those same endorphins from eating some chocolate candy. He could have gotten it from, smoking some weed. He could have gotten it from anything, but he chose, and you accepted him getting that edge off using you as that drug. And you were under the impression that he had an emotional attachment. Why? Because we look at every person through the screen of what we are. And so you looked at him through the screen of your emotions, and you figure that since you had emotions, then he has emotions. But he did not have emotions. He had a need for a release. And so when you come back and saying, how could you do this to me? What does he try to do, which makes you, my sisters, get so upset? What he tries to do is explain to you why he felt like he felt and why you should understand. Because he is now using what he is by nature, analytical, and you are using what you are by nature, emotional. So don't let this time that you are in, this 14th of February, which comes every year at the same time, and you allow yourself to get upset at it. And then the other part of it is that if you don't get control of it, you'll wind up getting your heart broken or your feelings hurt, and you're saying, I can't believe he did that. And now you've got barriers, sir and ma'am, because both of you all do it. You now got barriers up against everybody else that comes. And there might have been a good guy that was coming. But because God had somebody coming for you in March. But you settle for something to make you feel something February 14th. So now when March comes, oh, this nigga here, no, you not coming up to me after what I just went. And you now blow off somebody who might have been a perfect person for you, but because you allowed someone to come in, because you didn't have control of your emotions, you have now pushed off what could have been the beginning of the answer for what you were praying for. Or if the girl, because sometimes the script gets flipped, because now sisters are more aggressive than men. They coming up, and the foolishness, getting on their knees, proposing to a guy. I'm like, what? So you got all of these types of things that are coming in. And so now the guy, because he's just gone through that, might mess around and now push off who could have been his life mate, because he is just now dealing with somebody that's stalking him, following him everywhere, blowing up his phone, because of what both were supposed to understand was just a one-night stand, just a hookup. I met you in the bar at happy hour, So, yeah.
I think this is good. Look, Facebook, share this.
Please share it.
Please share this. My YouTube family, definitely copy this and share this. And the reason why we kind of transitioned, just doing something this week, because it's good to hear another perspective. A lot of times we always make decisions based off of what we think or what we know, and what we think and what we know may not always be what is best.
Absolutely.
So here's another one. And
your generation, millennials, you all do situationships.
Oh, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because so many people will ask me, not that I broadcast my stuff, because when I do have my partner, my mate, you all gonna know about it.
Mm-hmm.
But people always say, why are you still single? And they're surprised when they hear the word standards. It's like a foreign word.
Yeah.
It's like a word like, what you say?
It's like,
Did you just cuss?
What is that? What'd you say? Knuckle up. Knuckle up.
And it's like standards have a major part in relationships, and we either never had standards,
right,
or we probably lessened our standards as a result of different people. So our generations now, we just settle for people because they don't live up, or we just knock the standards out the picture.
Absolutely.
So situationships is common. But here's another question. All right, so you have these different phases, and we have to talk about love phases. But you have these different phases where when you first meet somebody and you're attracted to them, it's the lust that connects you with them. Because you're going based off of what you see, what is visual, is what catches your eye.
And then, now let me just say, because lust is a version of love that's perverted. And when I say perverted, I don't want you to just already think, oh, that's freaky, that's freaky. No. I mean, it is a twisted version of a good thing. Meaning that there's something. So you can wind up making the purity of love become something that is twisted when you only want it for how it gratifies you. Samson said to his parents, he said, and you all will see this in Judges chapter number 14, that Samson says to his parents, I saw a woman amongst the daughters here. Go get her for me because she pleases me. Everything was about get her for me, she pleases me. And then he's shocked when she turns on him, for her family members. But he never came for her. Yeah. He came for her, for him. He just wanted what pleases me. And many people get with someone never considering the individual at all.
Right.
All we're thinking about is that, we can make some beautiful kids together.
You got a nice whip.
You got a nice
that
whip.
Six-pack looking good.
Oh my God, look at that girl's booty. And all of those things are something that it does for you. You have almost objectified the individual. You have made them an object as opposed to them being a human. And that can be whether you are a female looking at a guy for whatever he has, or whether you are, and that was Judges chapter 14, verse number 3. Judges chapter 14, verse 3. Thank you so much for putting that up there. You have made them an object of something for you.
Yeah.
They are not something for who they are. And that's what has happened in a lot of situations. You're with people because they can, they look good on your arm. You all are the same height. Yeah. We're the same build. I'm a single parent. She's a single parent. All of these things that you wind up making the criteria as opposed to it being for who the individual is. And you'll never know who they is. Bad grammar. I apologize, my mother, who is an English major at 96 years of age. It's not about who the individual is for what they can do for you, but who are they with you out of the equation? Which is why most people get into a relationship and then try to make the person what they want them to be, instead of taking the time to put in the research to really love the person for who they are. I see Sharon Wallace put up there, very shallow. Yeah, I gave the scripture for that last week, Luke chapter number 15, verse 15, Luke 15, verse 15, where one man joined himself to the citizen of a country, and the citizen of the country never joined himself with that individual.
Exactly.
And then he started making them do things that were beneath him because he never gave the same level of commitment that the individual had given to them. I told them last week that love can be shallow, love can be self-serving, love can be manipulative. I had two more that I might not get to this week because we're doing this Q&A. So it's important that you get with an individual, not for what they do, because we are not human doings. We are human beings. So you want to get with the person for who they be, not for what they do.
It's crazy. I listened to Steve Harvey. Some of the things I hear and I agree with, and some of the things I just feel like, oh, okay. And he had the book Act Like a, what is it?
Act Like a Woman,
Think Like a Man, something like that. One of the things I didn't agree with everything, but one of the things that I think was good was when he had gave the advice as it relates to when you are dating with someone, don't instantly give your body to them. Wait a little bit, because and that ties into what you were saying. We give our body, to the person instantly, that we don't get a chance to know who they are outside of the pleasure that they.
Sex muddies the water.
It does.
Sex muddies the water.
It does.
Sex muddies the water. Sex muddies the water. You are no longer dealing from an even playing field. Once you have introduced sex into the relationship, because now you are no longer dealing with who the person is. You're now getting into what the person feels. You've now muddied the water as it relates to the purity of the relationship. And if the person says, some years ago, there was a guy named Major Harris, an artist, and he had a song that said, "Love won't let me wait, not another minute, baby." And you all heard Luther pick it up and do the remake of it. But how are you going to say that love won't let you wait when 1 Corinthians chapter 10, when it's talking about love, says that love is patient? Do you understand? That's why you're going to have to base things off of the book that we hold in our hands, that we continue to read. Yes, love will let you wait, because love is patient and love is kind. In other words, you can't be the best thing that's ever happened to me when I think we're going to hit. And then the moment that you say no, you saving yourself for marriage. B, what make you think a nigga wanna be a worker? And now all of a sudden you are a B word and you're no good, and why you lead me on, and why you a tease, and why you a this, and why you a that, and then all of a sudden start talking about you stink this, you stink that, you this, all of these types of things. For the same person that 5 minutes ago, when you thought that you were going to have your release of your testosterone, your release of your sperm, your release of the setting of all of your endorphins, you thought all that was going to be happening. You should have just slapped him in the face with a candy bar and said, "Eat this, you're not yourself right now." You're not yourself right now. Gwen says, sometimes you have to date yourself, take yourself out to dinner. Daughter, that's my thing. You can't make a demand of me when I meet you to take you to a 5-star restaurant and you've never taken yourself there. You are now wanting someone to do for you what you wouldn't even know. You don't even know how many forks on the table and why they all here. Enjoy yourself. Not one word, yourself. Enjoy your space, self. The you that you are. Make sure that you have loved you so that you don't look for someone else to fill the emptiness in you, because some love no one else can put in you. Your mama has a love for you. Your daddy has a love for you. Your siblings have a love for you. Everyone has a measure or level of love for you. But there is, and even God's love for you, there is a shape inside of your heart. And when I say your heart, I don't mean that boom, 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 boom. I mean your heart, which is 2 levels. One is the area of your conscious. The other area is your subconscious. It's dealing with your mind. That's why the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart. You don't think in your heart. Boom, 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 boom. Where the blood is, you think in your mind. So there is a thought or a concept of love that you have in your head based on how you were raised, your upbringing, because we taught several weeks ago that you get your concept of love in relationships that you can choose by the concept of love that was established in the relationships that you did not choose. You did not choose your mother. You did not choose your father. You did not choose your grandparents. You did not choose your brothers and your sisters. You did not choose your aunties. aunties. You did not choose your uncles. So how they showed you love is going to shape your concept. It's not going to define, but it will shape your concept of how you look for love. And unfortunately, some girls get with guys that are old enough to be their father because they are looking for the love of the father, which was either a great example and they want to keep mimicking that, or it was a poor example and they're looking for something to replace that. Or some guys go running after women that could be their mothers. They call them, these women are cougars, because either they had a mother that gave them an example, and they have, it's kind of freaky because they have this kind of concept where they really want to be married to their mother. They really, I'm looking for somebody just like my mother. You need to look at that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody just like my father. You need to look at that. You can admire some of the qualities that you saw in your mother and your father. But when you start bringing home people that, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that. So the qualities and characteristics are the things you ought to be looking for in the individual. But that's going to be determined when you're outside of your house by how you got love inside of your house. Some women have messed up good relationships because they wanted to be a daddy's girl when they were a grown woman. A man was not trying to marry his daughter. You don't sleep with your daughter. A man was trying to marry a woman that just like, I don't have anything against anyone. You do what you have to do. But when we were raising our children, I didn't call my wife mama. And my wife didn't call me daddy. I know today, everybody does that. But I'm just saying that we didn't do that because I didn't want to think when I was crawling in bed, I was getting in bed with my mother.
That's a little weird.
And so I would say, go talk to your mother. Go talk to your mother. And I would say, babe, Janice is trying to walk to you. Babe. I'm not saying, yeah, mama. Yeah. No. I know what you all mean because everybody today is poppy and all of that kind of stuff like that. I just never did that. Did not want the blurred lines around my children where my daughters are saying ma, my sons are saying ma, and I'm hollering ma. Something ain't right in that house.
Let me ask this last thing because I know we got to go wrap it up. Okay. When you say I do, that means you don't.
Right.
Period, point blank. Can you let them know? Because nowadays, when we say I do, a lot of our marriages, sad to say, are only lasting for a good year?
If that. Britney Spears had one that only lasted 24 hours.
It did.
Yeah.
We saying I do, but we really don't know what we're really saying I do to. I was watching the movie, you wouldn't know, this is a flick chick, The Notebook. Okay, The Notebook, even though they met as teenagers, they grew up. Now, they grew up and they became older to the point where the wife, she became very ill. She was sick. She started having amnesia. It was a lot going on to the point she didn't even recognize who her husband was.
Absolutely, at all time and everything.
Her husband chose to stick. I mean, even the kids were trying to figure out, Dad, why are you still with her? She doesn't know. She's not gonna remember who you are. She don't know anything. Why are you still? And he said, because I said I do. Exactly. A lot of times we're so quick to say I do, but we don't.
We really don't, or we won't after we say that we do.
Yeah.
Dr. Miles Monroe, one of my mentors, God rest his spirit, he made a statement one time. He said that when you say I do to someone, Wanda Briscoe said that was one of her favorite movies.
Yeah.
He said when you say I do to someone, you are not even talking about love. You're talking about faith.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know what you are saying I do to. You're saying in good times and bad.
I just said, what is the list? The list consists of good times and bad.
Yeah, and sickness and health, for better and for worse, till death do us part. And most of us have not ever discussed what is a good time and a bad time. Some people say, if you ever have an affair, well, you've already made a way of escape by saying certain stipulations. Another person can say, if you ever burn my food, if you've been coming home late, this is the last time you coming home late. And so we put these stipulations on. Whenever I'm doing counseling, I always give an extreme illustration. I said, sweetheart, if your husband goes out to play basketball and to do a pickup game of basketball, and he goes up for a rebound when the ball is shot towards the basket, and somebody goes underneath him and he comes down on the back of his neck, and he is now quadriplegic in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, will you, though you all have just been married for 6 months, will you still stay with this man? He cannot perform sexually. He cannot do anything. Both of you all are between 25 and 35 years old. Are you going to remain committed and faithful to him for the rest of your life? If you can't see yourself doing that, you're not ready to marry this man. And I said, sir, if your wife is getting off of the bus, trying to make her way home, she gets to the front door, gets ready to put her key in the door, and somebody jumps out of the bushes, grabs her, rapes her brutally, tears her vaginal area, and ruins her womb, so that she can not only no longer have children, but she now no longer desires to have sex with you. Will you remain with her, be faithful to her, and not run out and find somebody else? And if you're not ready to do that, then you're not ready to say I do. Because most of us are talking about I do, but are not even thinking about what we are saying I do to. And that's why in some of our situations we're seeing in the news and everything today, you see where certain things drop off with the husband or drop off with the wife, and then the person who said I do till death is now trying to find a loophole in that so that they don't have to be as committed to what they said they were going to say I do to.
So look, y'all, we out of time, but I promise you we don't have, he can talk this all day. And we want to do something different, Church Talk. Thank you for your patience, Facebook, YouTube. Thanks for your patience. We want to do this because we understand the seriousness as it relates to the different emotions that people go through during this season. And it don't just start with Valentine's.
Right.
They normally say between October
up until
and March is the time where people have these emotional roller coasters. They have these breakdowns. It's extremely high working with the crisis suicide hotline because you have so many people.
And that's what you do.
Yeah, you have so many people who aren't happy. They don't feel like there's a reason to live. They don't feel the love. They don't feel like they have any purpose. So we wanted to just kind of do this today just to give you all another perspective and to know that even if you may not get a piece of chocolate tomorrow,
right?
If you may not get, a card or a teddy bear,
they still have cards, teddy bears, and chocolate at CVS.
They do actually at Shoppers and Giant and the grocery stores. So you can go buy yourself one, a piece, and then go home and enjoy your night. Oh, you can come to our church tonight because we do have Bible study.
We got Bible study tonight.
We are
giving you groceries when we
are giving you groceries. But look, a lot of what Pastor was referencing as it relates to his knowledge and wisdom, he alludes to a lot of those things in the books that he has written. I mean, even this small book, I was just looking at this the other day, Encouragement in Small Doses, and he has, one of the chapters he's talking about just relationships. He's talking about love yourself. That's the first chapter that's in this book, Encouragement in Small Doses, and he gives you, a small quote. He gives you a scripture with that. If you don't have this book, how about you get this for yourself for Valentine's Day?
One of the ones I have in there is that if you are not at PEACE, peace with yourself, you will only be a PIECE to someone else.
Right.
You've got to be at peace with yourself before you become a piece to somebody else. And I don't mean a side piece. I mean all you are is a piece of tail, a piece of whatever to somebody else. And you don't want to be known for that or be used for that. But if you are not at peace with you, then you'll jump on the first thing that comes by to you, and you'll wind up getting used and abused and say, why they do this to me? No, the question is, why did you do it to yourself?
Exactly. I encourage you all to get these books, and I know that we're doing this special because it is the holiday.
Yeah, it is.
And we're trying to have it. We always push it instead of just buying people material stuff that only lasts temporarily. Why don't you buy something that's going to help?
All that chocolate going to do is give you diarrhea.
Man, send you to the bathroom.
That's all it's going to do. And put on extra pounds that you promised in your New Year's resolution that you were going to lose.
So at this one, you won't gain any weight.
That's right.
If you want to make this investment, I know that Pastor is doing a special Valentine's Day special edition with his books.
I've got 6 books. I've got 6 books that I have written. If you purchase 4 of them today, I'll give you the other 2 for free. And I will mail them out to you at my cost. I'll eat that. I'll autograph them. If you call Janice, she's going to give you that number in just a second, and she'll tell you how you can cash out the money to me. I will sign the book with your name, send it out today, and you will have that book within the next couple of days, and I will eat the cost of that.
These books are lifesavers. These books are soul savers, and a lot of times you can prevent spending all the money on the couch talking to a therapist. I know that it was recommended, but you can prevent doing that if you just take the time for yourself and invest in yourself, and get the tools that you need to better yourself. So you can do that. You can do that one or two ways. You can do that by going to his personal website. If you haven't been on there, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go on his personal website. He talks about his books. He has a write-up on each book. And even just the now and the know of J.E. Sturdivant with his engagements and sermons and stuff is on his website. Go on his website, www.J.E. Sturdivant Ministries.
STRIES.com. It's on the screen.
www.J.E. Sturdivant Ministries.
STRIES.com.
You can click on the books, and we can go ahead and get that mailed out to you. If you want to purchase the books and you want to call your order in, and we can have that shipped out to you, you can call this number. Or if you want Pastor Sturdivant to be a part of your next event, your next conference, anniversary, workshop, prayer breakfast, whatever you have going on, you want Pastor Sturdivant to be a part of it. He is accepting engagements in this year. You can do that. You can contact me, Janice Sturdivant, for the books or for the engagement, and that number is 301-736-2383.
Call her now.
301-736-2383.
She'll be in the office.
301-736-2383. Call if you want to send a cash app, a love you, happy Valentine's Day cash app to Pastor Sturdivant and CC Janice on it. You can't do that. If you want to do that, send him a cash app offering because you love him, you love his ministry, and you love what he provides every week. That cash app handle is $, capital D, lowercase r, capital J, capital E, capital S.
I would be honored. I am grateful. I appreciate it. I want to thank you so much, Church Talk Radio, for making it possible for me to come on. And as always, you are excellent. I appreciate you in the studio, and I thank you so very, very much, Church Talk family. Hey, listen, Facebook, YouTube, thank you all for tuning in. I see my daughter Brittany Barber was on with me. I appreciate that. We thank God for all of you. That's my Beanie B. Beanie B, she said it was getting a blizzard up there.
Yeah,
in
I saw
New York.
that snow. I saw that.
So we're praying for you, G baby. You be safe up in that area. Cook some hot soup since you're at the culinary school. All right.
If y'all enjoyed today, because this was a special edition, look, just leave a comment just saying,
please,
love you. You know what I mean? Like the word, when you say I love you, that means a whole lot.
And I would appreciate that.
Show some love.
I'm not going to get depressed if you don't, though, but it would be nice if you did. I appreciate you all. Please share this with somebody else. This was some good stuff that somebody that you know, even if you say it's not you, someone that you know needs this. And we appreciate you for doing that.
Tonight, what we got going on?
Tonight we've got Bible study, 7 o'clock. We're going to be doing just a little bit of praying from 7 until 7:30, and then we're going to teach just a little bit. I see all of you all on there. I love you more. Thank you. My daughter, Tarina, I appreciate it. Thank you. My daughter, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you so much, Regina.
Love you.
You made it possible for me to be on here. But we're going to teach a little bit after we've prayed a little bit. And then by about 8:30, we're going to just give you groceries to take home, some free food. Giant, Target, and Six Flags trust us. And they keep on giving food to us, and we've got to give it away. Thank you so much, Dolores Bell. I love you so very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wanda Briscoe.
See you. Love you. Thank you. I'm not missing any of this stuff.
Hey,
thank you,
Brittany.
I love.
It feels good.
You see that? Gosh, don't let my heart, mess around and start buzzing. Wait a minute. That's one of my new daughters up in from New York when I was up with Dr.
nice.
Carson.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. And she says, that's Tashelle. She's got a testimony that is no. She's got a testimony, so she says she knows she has giftings and callings on her life, but she has never trusted because of some things that happened in her life, anyone to place herself under. And so I thank God so much for her coming on. All right. Tarina says she got her books.
Yes.
She got her books. Yes.
There you go.
We love you all.
Love you all. Share this.